Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'm going to continue on Steve Reeves' articles. In particular, I'll be talking about developing the upper legs by Steve Reeves. Now this particular photo, which I took from the magazine which contained this article, I really love. Not only does it continue from the idea that Steve Reeves always wanted to develop that wonderful V-taper as clearly demonstrated in this wonderful photo, but you can also appreciate, besides his fantastic upper body development, the sweeping thighs, his teardrop muscle, and fantastic calves. I love this fantastic photo of Steve Reeves. So let's look now at his tips, recommendations, and exercises that he recommends for developing the upper legs. Of course, the source, I always give the source, is from my own collection. In this particular issue that contained the article was Your Physique 1948 in October. The basics. Now, Steve Reeves, believe it or not, really did believe that the development or the training of the upper legs was really the foundation of a sound bodybuilding program. These are his own words. He also believed that developing bulk for the legs was quite easy in comparison to shaping and developing contour and all these fine lines that you get. That took a little longer. For Steve Reeves, he believed that training the upper legs was an absolute necessity. Although there are numerous exercises for thigh development, some should be, as he says, and they should definitely be a must for every bodybuilding program. Steve also said that some exercises which basically work the large and major portions of the body would have an effect on the weight of the body and therefore gave the person the ability to gain muscular weight, not fat weight, but muscular weight. He also said that because the legs, the torso, the trunk, that is, hips, etc., make up more than half of the muscular bulk of the entire body, any ambitious bodybuilder really should dedicate half of their program, at least, to leg development. And I think that's really smart. That's a really smart recommendation from Steve Reeves. Understand also that Steve, even back in the day, realized that legs are basically not trained as often as other body parts such as the chest and arms, which do respond fast and they are the more showy muscles. But again, Steve also said that another reason why legs are not often trained is because it's hard to train legs. You do require heavy weight to develop thick and muscular legs. Let's have a look at the exercises that Steve Reeves actually recommended. Believe it or not, I know a lot of you have read his more, recent books that were published later, especially after 1948 when this article came out. But he actually wrote in this article that the full squat is the king. It is the best leg builder. It develops the most bulk for legs, and it also, in doing especially deep breathing, such as in the 20 rep squat, which I have mentioned that Steve Reeves practiced, it also expands the rib cage and builds the chest and upper torso. And if you don't believe me, there he is there teaching a young boy to squat, the full squat, not a half squat, not a hack squat or any other type of squat, the full squat, ass to grass. Now for cutting up, he would choose higher reps as well and more sets. For overall bulk and contour, he would actually use 3 sets of 15 reps of the full squat. Another leg builder that he recommended was the leg press, or he would also perform 3 sets of 15 reps. He would also perform barbell lunges with 20 reps for each leg, especially for the development of the teardrop muscle, otherwise known as the vastus medialis. Other exercises, I guess, that were more into developing shape um, include these photos seen here, such as the barbell hack squat. This is the photo where he has the actual barbell behind his legs. The hack squat machine mimics this action, but the original barbell hack squat is not often practiced anymore in the gym. You have to actually have your heels elevated as you see it on a wooden block. You place the barbell behind you and you squat. And that actually really develops the muscles around the knee and gives you great, I guess, definition. Another one that he recommended is the front squat, as you can see, but it was performed in the Dellinger style that is now called, or later called. That is, the front squat typically is where you have the barbell resting on your shoulders at the front of the body, not behind the body, at the front, as you can see, the top photograph here. There's also the California squat, which is very similar, where you have your hands crossed over, but the proper front squat is demonstrated here. But he did it with the heels elevated, and that actually placed even more emphasis on the upper legs, especially on the frontal muscles of the thigh. Other exercises that he actually recommended was dumbbell squat on your toes. Again, he was elevated, but with dumbbells, and as you come down actually into the squat, you would actually press overhead. That's actually what was written in the article, which I found very interesting. It's basically like a pressing overhead squat. Really interesting exercise. He also, back then, because there wasn't many machines, would use iron boots. Iron boots are basically strap-on weights that you put on your feet to perform leg extensions, abductions, adductions, which are all exercises that we can now do on cables and machines. And he would also use them, as well as human resistance, for performing leg curls. So these are the more shaping exercises that he would recommend. But as I told you earlier in this previous in this previous slide, the previous one to this one, he actually did believe in also bulking up the legs using leg presses and full squats. That's the full article that Steve Reeves wrote on developing the upper legs. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I leave you with this photo of Steve Reeves holding what looks like to be a katana, or basically one of these Japanese swords. I love this photo of Steve Reeves, and if I haven't said it, I'll say it again. This is my favorite photo of Steve Reeves. Not only does it show his aesthetic brilliance, I mean, you can see his trim waist, his flaring lats, hands held overhead. This is a much clearer photo that I found on the internet actually, but it actually also shows the sweep, the outer sweep of his thighs, the fantastic teardrop muscles, and look at those calves. I mean, you can really appreciate his fantastic shape that he had developed back then on those legs. I mean, people, this is what aesthetics is all about. This is what the golden era is about. Steve Reeves is a perfect icon for the golden era and a perfect example of what we should all strive for when it comes to bodybuilding and aesthetics. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Reeves was iconic and a fantastic symbol for the golden era. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.